Okay, so today's reading is about food shortages because I got these questions with regards, it was in, I think it was in response to my earlier video where it talks about the flood, and one of the, or a few of the cards talks about where we need to prepare ourselves for the month of August because there could be some food shortages. And then after that, in the comment section, there were some questions with regards to would there be a food shortage in Australia? And there was one more question. I'm not too clear. I think it could mean, could there also be food shortage in Israel? Okay, so with that, I am going to start the reading. So first of all, for Australia, I asked a question and these cards just dropped out. So there were 3 cards. Okay, so with regards to the Australia, first of all, we have the Ten of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles. So what I'm seeing here is that this is taking place in an area where it is not surrounded by vegetation. So what I am getting here is we are talking about the energy which is in a city or in a suburb, which is a bit not near the farmlands, okay, not near the farmlands. However, the people seem to be happy. So now the next card next to it is the Nine of Pentacles. So if you look at the Nine of Pentacles here, the other thing is I want you to see she's wearing white and here she is wearing black. Okay, I'm just looking at the top. So based on that, okay, this to me, this is kind of like white hats and this is the black hats, that kind of thing. So now you get an idea. So the white hats here, or she here, what she is doing is she is, as you can see, there is a lot of vegetation around her. It seems that she is very good at growing, growing vegetables, growing fruits, okay, and she has an abundance. And what I'm getting here is that she is putting it onto the pigeon, and then the pigeon here will somehow, whatever pentacles that she have here is actually going to the suburbs or to the cities. Okay, so it seems that even though the people are not living on the farm, but they are happy. They are happy. I don't see any food shortage. I don't see any food shortage. It seems that there is a network here which is working very well because in the rural area or in the farmlands there is an abundance of vegetation, abundance of fruits, vegetables, food, farm products, okay, and it is getting into the city or the suburbs where the people live. And what I'm seeing is that there seems to be the energy surrounding the community seems to be like very community like, as if people are working together. So here is like the network is very good. Okay, the food is flowing to the people in the suburbs or in the cities. So I don't see any food shortage here. However, I think the people are aware of this, and because here you see the two people talking to each other, to me is as if people are working together. People from different walks of life, they are working together to make the system work. Okay, then we also have the Page of Pentacles here. And the Page of Pentacles, to me, this represents the negative forces. But if you look at her, she is trying to create a narration where there's only one pentacle, but the actual reality of the situation is that there are many pentacles, and there's even more here. Okay, so it's you know, it keeps on channeling to where the people need it. So here, this is her narration here, and her narration is that there is only one pentacle. So so she is trying to create the story that there is a food shortage. But however, if you look around her, it's this narration is pretty flimsy. First of all, she's just standing on one foot. So if you're standing on one foot, you can't balance yourself for long. Okay, so in other words, her narration is flimsy, and also there is surrounding her also lots of luscious vegetation. So here she says one story that means there's a food shortage, but in reality, how can there be a food shortage when there is so much vegetation around? That means when there's so much abundance around. So in that sense, her narration is flimsy. Okay, so yeah, so this is for Australia. So I'm not seeing a food shortage. Perhaps you need, but there is a strong community living or community energy where people work together to ensure there is a good network with the farmers or with the people who is, or the food suppliers. Yeah, so that is what I am seeing here. Okay, next for Israel. So what I am seeing here, one card just came out, only one card. Whereas Australia was just, three cards just came out. So for Israel, it is one card. Is there a food shortage? What I am seeing is that people are getting back to basics. People are going back to nature. They are becoming to be, they're getting to be more, less reliant on the government authority and more reliant on themselves. So once again, I am sensing a lot of community living, and community living meaning that there is much more communication with your neighbors, you know, with the people in your community. And what I am feeling is that this is just the start. This is just the start where people become less dependent on others and more, they become more, they start to grow, whether it's growing their own food, but they become more self-reliant. Yeah, that's the word, self-reliant. So here, what I am seeing is that this is the Ace of Pentacles, which is a good card in the sense that here they are given an opportunity to live in a way where they are more in touch with nature. So here, what happened is that this is just the beginning of their journey. So you see, the thing is, once you start, maybe the first batch, you need to be careful with your resources because you know the vegetation hasn't come in yet. But this is just the start, and the way nature works is that once you start the first seed, and then after that the plant will grow, and then they will give you many seeds, it will lead to abundance. Yeah, so this is what I'm seeing. It will lead to abundance. So there is a lot of potential here, a lot of potential for growth. Okay, so yeah. So once again, I'm seeing here that this is a good opportunity for the people in Israel to start going back to nature and become less materialistic and more going back to nature. So is there a food shortage? You may say there is a food shortage in the sense that until you start growing your own food, okay, nature will give you abundance and prosperity. So you have to wean yourself off from that from that system where you're dependent on the system for food, for resources. And the way I see with Israel is that they are finally realizing, or maybe perhaps a situation is forcing them, whereby they are becoming more reliant on Mother Nature instead of the system in order to feed themselves. So in the beginning, as they transition into this phase of natural abundance, then for the time being, they just need to be careful with their resources. Okay, so that's it, and thank you.